Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. Big thanks to them for all that they do and making these shows possible. Go ahead and check out their links in the description to this video. We've actually got quite a bit of weather to talk about for today into the weekend. We've got risks returning starting today in the southern Mississippi Valley, and then those are going to continue through the southeast for the rest of the week into the weekend. We do have a New Year's risk for you guys from Saturday into Sunday. We've got all risks possible, so it's gonna be a bit to cover today for our risks over the next few days. So we'll get to it in a second. First things first, before we do that, we have an end of the year tax savings deal going on right now. So if you go ahead and give us a call, we can work that out with you guys. Through some end of the year tax benefits and whatnot, we can end up getting you guys up to 45% in savings, and then Hail Trace is also offering an additional 10% off. So if you want to save some money on subscribing to our service, go ahead and call us today and save some money. And that's going to end December 31st at the end of the year. So for now, into our weather, we've got cloudy conditions through much of the west here. We've had snow that's just dumping through that area over the past couple of days. Plenty to go around. You can see some snow and some mixed precipitation up here in the Ohio Valley. But for our severe weather, we're watching the Mississippi Valley right now, and you can see these storms that are starting to kind of stream up through Louisiana, through Arkansas, and those are going to continue throughout the day, intensifying a little bit as we get more daytime heating. So right now, mostly just showers, but those are going to ramp up a little bit over the next couple of hours as that day moves forward. Then into the rest of the nation, bitter cold temperatures. Check that out in Minneapolis, it's 18 degrees, 27 in Denver, 17 in Twin Falls, sitting just above freezing in Portland, so maybe that's warm for you guys, I don't know, but 52 down in LA. Once we get into these southern states, we're much more pleasant, 68 in Atlanta, 80 in Houston, and through this area, we're going to start to see a little bit more instability. Check out our dew points here. We got 70 degrees in New Orleans. You guys are in the risk for today. 45 in Dallas and 63 in Atlanta, dry for the rest of us. I'm sure you guys who are weather aficionados out there are thinking, hey, well, we usually see this severe weather along that dry line, along that cold front. But today we're seeing our risk more in the middle of that heat and that humidity, and that's because we've got a little baby disturbance that's making its way through the upper levels through this area, and that's going to stir up those storms into today. So as it does, we've got this instability in the area. So if you guys are in the Jackson, Mississippi area, New Orleans, again, you are in the risk, and we do get that cape that's starting to work its way up into those moderate values. By around 2 p.m., like I said, things are going to start to ramp up as that passes through. So we get those moderate CAPE and instability values for those storms to start dropping some hail on us later. And then that's going to start to taper off as the afternoon and evening moves forward and we start to lose that daytime heating. So a lot of this is very heat dependent as that disturbance moves through those upper levels. So this is what we're going to look like by 2 p.m. By the time we get that high instability through the area, we start to see some isolated cells moving through Jackson, starting to make their way towards New Orleans through Lafayette. Any of those could get going a little bit with some rotation, could produce some significant weather from wind to tornadoes to hail. So watching those isolated cells as they move through by 2 p.m., things starting to pick up a little bit, starting to see more consistent clusters of storms through that area along the 59 corridor, along the 55 corridor from New Orleans all the way into Jackson, starting to see heavy rain, thunder, lightning, and some rotating storms, which could produce all risks. And those are just going to continue as we get that moisture getting pulled out of the Gulf of Mexico northward into the southern Mississippi Valley where that instability is. These bands are just going to continue to slowly track northeast, bringing that severe weather threat along with it into today, tomorrow, and Friday. So this is what our hail risk looks like for that area into this afternoon. We've got quarters to $half possible anywhere through that area. Not a ton of instability to talk about. And again, since we're not really relying on that dry line, we're not really relying on that cold front, we're relying on that upper level instability. We're going to leave you guys in the low end chance for scattered quarter to $half through the area. Wind is going to be a similar story. This is a wind and tornado threat, again, all the way from Jackson down into New Orleans. We could see some rotation in those storms. They're going to be very scattered, so just depending on where those track, we could see some tornadoes possible into this afternoon, but low-end chances for New Orleans, low-end chances for Jackson. If you guys can see one of those scattered storms move over you, could produce some severe weather. Then into tomorrow, it's going to be a very similar type of risk. Baby trough that's in the upper levels moving through that humid, unstable environment. And so we're going to continue to see, again, those bands of humid air getting pulled out of the Gulf northward towards Atlanta, towards Jackson, towards Memphis, and we could see that starting to push through some severe weather into that area. So this is 7 a.m., looking pretty similar to what we're going to see this afternoon. And then as the afternoon goes on, we're watching this cluster that's going to make its way through Little Rock and into Memphis. This looks like it could produce a good quantity of rotating storms, so we're really watching this for wind and tornadoes possible. But then again, check to the south of that, as well as those bands getting pulled upward. We could see some isolated storms producing hail as well. So all risks through this area as we start to see things intensify into the afternoon. That's going to continue to track northeastward through the afternoon and into the early evening hours. This is by 5 p.m. Loud storms starting to move through Nashville area out of Memphis, but we've got another band starting to form behind it and just pretty messy storm mode to the south until we start to see things organize a little bit better in the early overnight hours. We've got one band here moving its way through Birmingham, another band coming in behind it through southeastern Arkansas, and again, all risks possible with those from hail to wind to tornadoes as those continue to track eastward into the early overnight hours. Seeing the same deal through 3 a.m., that's when Atlanta could start to get hit with some loud thunderstorms. You guys want to be watching out for that overnight risk. And then again, things still continuing to track eastward through the southeast for tomorrow, and then we'll have another risk from all of this on Thursday for you guys. So that's what we're watching for Wednesday. So if we want to check out our hail forecast for that, we've got, surprise, surprise, quarters to $half anywhere in the path of those two bands passing through. And then where we have that highest instability, that's where we could see some larger hail possible. So if you guys are in Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, any of you guys could get quarters to $half, but we're really watching you guys for wind. And then from Jackson to New Orleans and anywhere in the northeastward part of Mississippi, northwestward part of Alabama, we could see some ping pong to golf ball sized hailstones. That's going to be pretty scattered because again, we're not looking at a ton of instability. It's just same deal as today. Storm mode isn't what we typically see for large hail. However, with a couple of those that are moving through that the area with most instability, we could see some ping pong to golf ball sized hailstones and a moderate chance of hail at all for you guys. Then down to Mobile, low end, Birmingham, Atlanta, low end chance of quarters to $0.50 as well as we get those scattered storms moving over you. Then, last but not least, for the specific risks for today and tomorrow, we've got a wind risk for the same area, extending that a little bit eastward as we get that first cluster that we saw moving through Arkansas and into Tennessee. We're going to push this risk back for that. So if you guys, again, are in Shreveport now, you guys are in the risk for wind and tornadoes into tomorrow morning, into the early afternoon. Little Rock, low end chance for you guys, but once we start to push eastward, where we saw that cluster start to intensify, started to see more storms available through the northern part of Mississippi, Alabama, that's when our risk chances start to go up a little bit. So Memphis, you guys are in a high end chance to see some storms into tomorrow that could produce some damaging winds. Tornadoes are also possible for that. Nashville, Birmingham, you guys have a moderate chance of seeing some windstorms into tomorrow as well as tornadoes. Jackson, same story for you. And then once things start to taper off a little bit and get a little bit more isolated, Atlanta and Mobile, you guys are in a low end chance of again seeing some gusty winds and possible tornadoes into tomorrow. Then into the end of the week. So now we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The risks are just back to back to back to back to end our year right now. So this is what we've got for tomorrow. Like I said, we've got that upper level disturbance that's causing those storms for Wednesday and Thursday. So we see just little baby disturbances in this giant trough that's making its way through. They're going to continue to swing around the bottom of this and stir up some of that unstable air through the southeast for Wednesday as well as Thursday. So this is Thursday afternoon. We've got a little bit of a dip right here. That's where we're going to start to see, again, our storms passing through for Thursday. Friday, it's going to be a similar story. So here's Friday at noon, seeing those just gentle little baby troughs, but it's unstable enough out ahead of that it could form some storms with it, and it should. And then into Saturday and Sunday, we're going to start to see the big trough move through. And that's really what we're watching for widespread storms for Saturday and Sunday. So we could kick off 2022 with a bang here as we get this passing through, getting again that cold Arctic air that's getting pushed down out of the north, and then that warm, humid air that's still streaming up in the southeast. Those are going to collide and could form a big severe outbreak through the southeast into Saturday and Sunday as that passes through with a sharp cold front, sharp dry line. This is 12 p.m. on Sunday as those storms continue out ahead of this trough and off of the east coast by Sunday afternoon. And then we should have a little break for a little while from severe weather for the start of 2022. This is what our dew points look like, and again, those indicate the presence of those storms out ahead of that trough Wednesday. We're just seeing super humid, super hot air, and again, those little disturbances that are going to continue to move through that area, stirring up storms. Same story on Thursday, just all that humidity present, ready for anything to come and disturb it so it can blow up into a thunderstorm. Friday is going to be a similar story. Once again, we're just watching these deep green values continue to stream up out of the Gulf Coast into the southern Mississippi Valley. But then check out this dry line. Here we go from Friday into Saturday. This starts to get pushed through the eastern U.S. here. We've got all that super dry, super cold air that's getting pushed in behind it as that rockets off of the East Coast by Sunday evening. So really, we're going to get some isolated scattered storms that are going to continue through today, through tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday could be the really impactful outbreaks that we're watching for. So we're going to continue to keep you guys updated on that. This is what we have for our risk areas for right now. This is Thursday, again through the southeast. As we get that hot, humid environment with that disturbance moving through, could see any risks possible through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then into Friday, it's going to shift northwards into Arkansas, the northeastern part of Texas, and the southeast or the southwestern part of Tennessee. So Memphis and Little Rock, you guys will be in the risk for Friday for all risks. Then into Saturday, we're going to have a more widespread chance as that cold front and dry line passes through. So through the southern Mississippi Valley, through the southeast, and through the very southern part of the Ohio Valley, through southern Kentucky and into Tennessee, we could see all risks pushing through, and we could see more widespread storms than what we're going to see for the end of this week. Sunday is going to be a similar story, but we're going to hold off on putting out any risks for right now. We're watching it, we're keeping an eye on it, and we'll keep you guys updated. But right now we're just going to talk about Thursday, Friday, and Saturday since there are a ton of risks to go around. So if you guys are in the southeast, you really want to be paying attention to your weather for the next few days because it looks like we could get scattered storms once again for the next few days. And then into the weekend, into the New Year's, things could change a little bit, take a turn for the worst in terms of severe weather. So, you know, any New Year's plans, you want to check those out. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can hit see first on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. And we will be back to tell you guys what we're looking at for the end of the week's severe chances. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.